Hello? Can you guys hear me now? That's better, isn't it? Oh, one of these days we'll get it right. Okay, so I think we're sorted. Let me know if there are any issues. And let's just move this. Yes, there we go, you see. Just move the light a little bit as well. Oh, there we go. We're organised. Hi, Sarah. How are you? Thank you for joining me. I have got a little friend with me here. Rosie is sat beside me. She's having a little wash, a little groom. She's been out playing all day, bless her. So, okay, what are we going to do today then? I am hoping to, I've got a bit of an idea of what I want to do in my head, but I'm not sure, I've not fully planned it out or thought it through. So, we shall see how we go. I wanted to show you my little Easter baskets while we're still in an Easter frame of mind. I hope you all have a lovely Easter weekend and you've got some plans to spend a bit of time, have a bit of a break, whatever you guys are doing. But yeah, I thought these little Easter baskets were so cute. So I might have to fill them up with some little treats for Easter. So I'll just put them to one side as they were so cute. And I want to make something today with the flying by. I think this is actually the sky's the limit. I always call it flying by to say hi, but it's actually the sky's the limit, I think. Let me double check that because I'm terrible. Oh, it's it's neither. Oh dear, it's the paper plane pals. Of course it is, because these guys are pals that are in a paper plane. Hi Claire, how are you? So I want to use these guys, and I wanted to use them because there is a little bunny in here, so we can still keep it quite spring themed, quite Easter themed. So that was my plan. Let me just try another bit more light, get a bit more light on the subject. That might be a little bit better. It's a bit of a glare, but it's a little bit brighter, isn't it, for you there? Hello Annalisa, how are you? So I want to use these little guys, and I thought that they would go really nicely with the Celebrate die set, because this makes a really nice cool card front. So I think I'm going to use that because I've not used it for a while. And then I did have a thought that I might use some of my paper pads, but I'm not quite sure how I want to use these at this point in time, because I've also got my landscape dies here, and they've got these really cool cloud dies, and I want to make quite a nice bold kind of sky for my little critter to be flying through. So let me just grab my die here. So I don't know whether to go with maybe some of the cloudy patterned paper in the background, or to do some ink blending, which might also be quite cool. But I do love this cloudy background, you see. I do think it's quite cool. And if we're going for quite a bold cloudy base, I think this might look quite cool. So I know it's not like me not to do ink blending, but we can do a little bit of ink blending on our clouds. I do like that idea. The alternative was to use maybe the smile inlaid scallop, but that's going to give me a smaller area for my critter to live. So I think I'm going to go with this. I'm going to try it and let's see. So I'm going to start with my background today, because I think that's going to influence the rest of the card, because if I decide I don't like this, then we'll go for something else, because like I say, this is unplanned, really. This is we're experimenting. So Annalisa says she's so glad this is working today. So am I. I'm so relieved, because we did have gremlins in the system last week. So I'm going to line this up onto my my paper here, and I'm going to grab some washi tape. I'm going to pop this through my die cutting machine. So bear with me while this makes a bit of a noise, because it's a bit of a beast, and it does come over onto on the microphone, unfortunately. So let's just grab this and pop this through here. So I always try and talk while it's making a noise, but I'm sure you can't hear me. So grab that, and then I'm also going to cut this out of 2 pieces of cardstock, because I'm going to use this to make a card base as well, I think. I mean, you could, let me just have a look, see if I've got a card base big enough, because this should be, you should be able to see this actually on an A6 card base. Let me have a look. Have I got an A6 card base? Let me see if this backs onto an A6 card base. I can't remember. Oh, it does. Oh, that's lovely. Oh, I'm going to pop it on there then, because that gives us a nice little white border. The alternative, hi Annalisa, I'm making a card today, and Shani says, will we be restocking the Hillside Village stamp set? Yes, we will. There's an order in as we speak, and I'm hoping it will be with us before the end of the month. So just keep an eye out. I will more than likely either let you know on a live, or I'll send a newsletter out if you've subscribed to the newsletter. It's always a good idea to be a subscriber. I don't send loads of newsletters out. It's only really when there's something new to tell you, so I won't bombard you with things. So yes, that one definitely is coming back in. So you could, like I say, you could make a card base out of this die just by simply cutting it out of 2 pieces of cardstock and then scoring a line along the back there, so that you can then create your fold in your card. And I'm still tempted to do that, because I did quite like the idea of it being bubbly like this. So we could still do that, or we could pop it onto an A6 card base. But I couldn't quite remember if that fit. So that's definitely an option. So I'm going to pop this die away, because we're not going to use that. And I'm not going to use the slopes one, because I do like that. I was thinking of using that one, but today we're going to go with the Celebrate scallop die. Hello Mark. Mark's with us. I hope you're having a lovely evening. Joining us for some crafting. And Annalisa says, I so love your beautiful top. My Time for Tea sweatshirt is my favourite, Annalisa. Thank you. So I need just some ordinary cardstock. I've got my stamping cardstock here, but I need just some scraps of white. So let me just grab these. So I've got some scraps of white cardstock here, because I'm going to cut, see if we've got any that are big enough to cut some of my my clouds out. So I need them to be long enough, wide enough and white enough. That's a lot of requirements, isn't it? Here we go. There's some good pieces. So I like, obviously our cardstock is a brilliant white, and sometimes you can really see that on screen, actually, the difference in the whites, but these are nice and white, and they are the same shade of white, because that's always quite important, because you can tell the difference if you've got 2 different colours of cardstock. So Annalisa says that the Hillside Village stamp set is a terrific stamp set, and she was just colouring it last night. So it is a really, really great set. So I'm going to cut out two pieces of these clouds because I want to create a bit of dimension here. So there's two different cloud shapes in the set. This smaller bubbly set, which I think will go in the front, and then this larger cloud shape that will sit in the back. So again, I'm just going to use some of my washi tape to secure that in place. And it doesn't matter if it does move a little bit, because we're not lining it up with a pattern here, and we are going to trim it down. So that's not as vital, but I think I could probably do with a fresher piece of washi tape because these have been used several times. So let's just pop that on there. Rosie doesn't seem to be too bothered by the noise of the machine so far, so that's good. So I'm just trying to angle these onto my plate a little bit because my plates are very, very warped. So let's just pop that through. And again, apologies for the noise. So what I think I probably will do with these is then also cut the edges with the Celebrate set. So you can see here, this is what's lovely about this die, is that it's got the stitch detail on the outside and on the inside. So you can use this piece as well as this piece, if that makes sense. So you can line those up and use them both together, or you can use them separately. Hello Julie, how are you? Late tuning in, hope you've not missed much. No, not really, we're just getting started. I'm using the Paper Plane Pals today, and we're just having an experiment because I don't really know quite what I'm doing. Got a vague idea as usual. So to cut these to size, I'm going to use my Celebrate die. So what I want to do is I want to match them up pretty much with where I want them to live on my card front. So I am just going to trim it down just so that I can kind of slot them in place. So let's just trim off the edges of those and trim off those bits. So I think, let's have a look, this little guy can go there, and then that one will fit there. So let's have a see where that lines up. Yeah, that's gives me a nice base here, because then we can add a little bit of a sentiment down here. So that's looking quite good. And then if we just have a little look at what we would be doing with our stamps here, if I can get them out, we'd have our little paper plane, which would probably sit around there maybe, with our little character inside. Yeah, that's cute. So yeah, I like that. I think that's good, and I do like it being self-contained rather than being on the background, I think, but let's see how we go. But I think that's going to work quite well. So we'll just pop them to one side, and then I'm going to start with the bottom piece. So I'm just going to line this up, and I'm going to move that across so that it's cutting off those edge pieces. And again, I'll use my washi tape, and that's going to give it the same shaped bottom as the rest of the card. So we'll just lift that up, And then we cut this piece out. What's everybody doing then this evening? Is anybody crafting along this evening? Sorry, Rosie, I moved you out of the way there, didn't I? And if you are crafting, what are you crafting? Are you crafting things for Easter still? So if we take this bit off here, because we don't need that now, but I can line this back up with the previous piece. Oops. No. That's about right, isn't it? And then that one will go there. And that one will sit. Yeah, that looks good. So we'll pick this piece up and we'll pop this one through. Getting all of our die cutting done early doors. I don't know how my machine moves so much on this Lazy Susan, but it does. So let's put that through. And then this is our second piece. So what I want to do is layer these up so that we get a bit of dimension at the bottom, which I think is really cute. Good evening, Suzanne. How are you? Claire says she's crafting as always. Have a stamp of sardines in a can. Interesting. Very interesting. And what's the sentiment that's going with that? What is the purpose of that one, Claire? Who's receiving that, I wonder? Julie says she's not too bad. Just got back from Costco's with the parents, hoping to do some crafting as the boys have gone to their dad's this afternoon and they're there until Sunday afternoon. Crafty freedom time, Julie. I like it. Emma, hello. How are you? I believe that we've sent an order out to you today, I think. So hopefully you will get that Saturday morning. Because there's no post, is there, tomorrow? I don't believe there is. Because it is Easter. It is Good Friday. So I'm going to pop these away because I think we've done with these. Don't forget in here as well, there's this lovely great big slider die, which I haven't used for ages, but I have got a penny here ready to make a slider. So I do need to do that at some point. So I just haven't, that wasn't part of the plan. And I can't go off plan now I've started. So I do think I'm gonna like this being on a card base that is the same shape as this, and I do want it to be quite a sturdy card base. I think it'd be quite fun to do a coloured card base, and I think maybe this blue cardstock might be really nice. So what I'm going to do again while we're cutting things, Julie says she's loving the clouds. They look amazing. They are super cool. So while we're die cutting, let's die cut some more of these because it will be worth it in the long run, I promise you. Because I really do want that same colour card base, or that same shape rather than colour, should I say. So, shall I let you in on a little secret about what I've been doing today? I have been colouring in new release stamps today, so I'm very, very excited about that. And I know the design team are very excited about that because they've not seen them yet. So I will be sharing them with them tomorrow evening. And I know they're all super excited to see them. And I'm super excited to share them with you. We've had a little bit of a delay. Sorry, I'll just let that noise stop. Yeah, there's been a bit of a delay. We were hoping to have the new release ready for you at the end of this month. However, there has been a delay getting our die shipment through. So we've had to put back the release by a couple of weeks, just so that we've got time to get samples made and everything sorted. So that is a bit of a shame. But these things happen, and you know, what can you do really? It's the times that we're living in, I guess. Mickey, hello, how are you? She says she can't wait to see the new release. Annalisa says she can't wait. And Julie, it's like I say, it's probably going to be mid-May, all being well. That's the date that we've penciled in. I'm hoping that the dies will arrive really, really soon, which means then we can start making some proper plans. So I'm just going to grab my scoreboard here, just so that I can score my line. So I'm going to let me move this down so you guys can see it, see what I'm doing. So I'm going to grab my scoring tool here, and I've just lined up one edge of my die cut piece here, and I'm going to do a score line in between these two scallops. I've not really lined that up very well because that's not dead central, but that should be fine. So a little bit of a score line. I'll just bend that crease a little bit just so that I create that little bit of a fold, and then we'll stick the two of those together, and that will make our card base. So that's easy peasy way of making your own card base, and your own shaped card base. And you can do that with pretty much any shape, as long as it's got the ability to kind of hold itself up. But you can even do it with a circle actually, because then you can create a little rock card. So super easy to do. Mickey says, hey Joe, just had dinner and turned into a bit of a couch potato. Bless you. So yeah, Julie says, just sit back and enjoy watching Joe craft then. That's it. You just all sit back and relax. I'll do all the work. Don't you worry. It's not really work, is it? Like I say, Thursday evenings and Tuesdays now, because obviously we're doing a Tuesday regular YouTube session. These are my favourite parts of the week because I actually get to just play. The rest of the time it tends to be very work related play, so it's still fun, but it can be, obviously it's work, so it's there's a reason, there's usually a deadline and so on, whereas when I'm doing this I can just play. So there we've got our card base, and it's nice and sturdy, so that's cool. And then we can pop our card front on there, and we've got a really cute shaped card, and I think that just goes really well with the cloud shapes. I think it works. Hopefully you think it does too. Mickey's replying as time for tea, which is just what happens, so don't worry about it, it's fine. Okay, so I've got some time for tea cardstock here, some scraps, which I think, well, you know what, you might as well use them, haven't you? Being a thrifty crafter as I am, I'm going to use some of these bits. This is a nice bit here of our super smooth card that I can do some stamping on. I'm going to grab my stamping platform. It's a little bit long for my stamping platform, so I'm probably just going to snip a little bit off the edge there, and then we'll just use part of it. So I definitely know I'm going to stamp my little bunny, because my little bunny with the goggles on is one of my favourite images, and I need the paper plane. Is there anything else that I want to stamp here? These other little paper planes are also very cute, so I think we will do those as well. Just in case. And we've also got some little birds here, which I think will be kind of cute to add into the background, so I might use those. And then for my sentiment, what should we use for the sentiment? I like the Let Your Dreams Take Flight. I think that's a really cool sentiment. I am partial to that, so that could be a good one. But I also like Flying By to Say Hi. And I did think about doing the Flying By as its own sentiment, and then to add maybe the hi in with our go on, alpha stamps. Oh, words are hard. Right, so let's pop them down. I think my ink pad is a little on the dry side, and I have got another ink pad, but I am just either too lazy or too tight to crack it open now. I don't know whether I've moved that, so this could be a disaster stamping it again, but let's just go with it. So the stamping platform obviously does make it easier for you to double stamp, but only if you've not moved your bit of paper. But no, I think that looks good. But I do think that my ink pad is very dry, but I think we can work with it. So let me grab my stamp chamois here. Annalisa says that she loves There Is a Die Even for the Three Little Birds. I know we do go the whole hog with the dies. Laura's with us. Hello, Laura. She says that's exciting. And Shani says, I so need this stamp set. It is a really cool one. And the little critters just waving from the paper plane are so cute. So that's those guys. Now then, let me just have a think about my sentiment. Because, like Annalisa says, there are dies for everything, including the sentiments. But I don't know if the Flying By, that's the flying, isn't it? Is it? That doesn't look the right shape, but it might be. Yes, it is. So that's the flying. Flying by to say. So yeah, we could stamp those out and then die cut them, couldn't we? So put them to one side. And while we're stamping, let's stamp our sentiment as well. So you've got Flying By to Say. Oops. Upside down. Not that it matters. Now we could stamp this in a different colour, and I think I'm going to stamp this in blue, and I'm going to use the Catherine Pooler ink that I've got here, the Something Borrowed, because this is a really lovely vibrant blue, and the Catherine Pooler inks are much better for stamping your sentiments than the Distress inks are. So let's give this a try. I tend to press a little bit too hard sometimes when I'm doing my sentiments, so I'm just going to give that a light. That's beautiful. That was perfect. So you see, I just used my stamping tool there to help me get a better impression, and not apply too much ink. So just catching up on the comments. Shani says she's been making a few time tea cards and so pleased with them. I will pop them in the friends group later. Oh, please do. I love to see your see what you guys make. So yeah, definitely get them in there, Shani. And Laura says, this reminds me of a Miffy book where she went flying with Uncle Bob. Do you know what? I do remember Miffy books, but I don't remember their specific activities or anybody flying with Uncle Bob. But I shall take your word for it, Laura. And Julie says she needs to make some Easter cards. Wow, you're cutting it fine. But yes, I was very tempted to make some more Easter cards. I don't think I've ever made as many Easter themed things as I have done this year, which I'm really pleased about because I do love making them. But I just fancied doing something a bit different today. But I still think that this is quite a nice, bright, spring-like card. You all right there, Rosie? Bless her. Right, I'm going to zoom in. Just checking that you can still see me. There we go. And then let's have a think. Right, what colour do we want to do? So I'm just going to pop my that for reference in the background. And I'm going to think, right, what sort of colour scheme do we want to use? Now, I'm going to have a look at the front of the Brighter Days paper pad here. So this is the front page of the Brighter Days paper pad. And it's got all of the different papers that are in the set. And it's got some really nice spring colours in here. So I think these are the colours, don't you think, Rosie, that we should use in our card here. So I am going to do that, I think. So yeah, I think the kind of the pale, I like this kind of pale orangey peachy colour. I think the peachy colour is one that would work really nicely. And maybe a bit of green. This nice fresh green is giving me a bit of the feels. So what colour would that be on my old chart here? So I've been doing some colouring, like I said, today, and I have had my chart out. And I'm thinking we're not going to get an exact match, I don't believe, but I think maybe the G12 and G14. Yeah, I'm quite liking that combo. So, and I think I might have had one of those out today. G14 and G12 and YG11. Let's try that. So a nice fresh green for our oh, wrong hand. So this is YG11. Yeah, that's a really nice kind of fresh green colour. So I'm going to use that for the majority of this paper plane here. So while I'm colouring in my images, I can tell you about all of the things that are going on now. So we've got loads of exciting things coming up, loads of exciting things. So I am going to be one busy bee, that's for sure. So we have got another craft show that we're going to. That is on the 1st of May. We're going to be at Craftorama at Harrogate. Sorry, I didn't pop that down for you to see that one. So I'm excited about that one because it's a little bit closer to home for us. So it's going to be a little bit easier for us to get to and get set up and so on. So that's exciting. So that's on the, did I say that's the 1st of May, which is a Sunday. And so that's the first thing that we've got coming up. And then in time for and in line with the new release, which, well, fingers crossed, will be the middle of the month, we are joining the new TV channel, craft TV channel, Hobby Maker. So that's big news. So yeah, we're really excited to be joining them. That is hot off the press, brand new news. um, so as some of you may know who follow the UK craft channels, there have been some big changes in the craft TV world of recent weeks, and we've been kind of just weighing up our options, taking our time, seeing I guess what everyone's got to offer. And yeah, we really like what Hobby Maker had got to say. So so we will be joining them. So I feel a little bit like that sea green wasn't blending quite so well, so I've gone over that a little bit more with the G14, just to get that blending a little bit better. But I don't know, I quite like that. Yeah, I feel like the although it said that the G12 and the G14 go together, I don't know as they go that well together, but I'm still quite happy with the fresh green look there. So the rest of my colour palette then, for my little bunny, I think I'm going to go with, I do quite like the E40 shades for bunnies, but I think as we discussed last week that my E40s are running out. So I'm going to try some E50s because they're a little bit warmer. So E50 is, they're like, I think it's called Milky White. This is eggshell, but I think one of the colours is Milky White. So we'll start with this as the base colour for our little bunny. So that he's going to be kind of quite neutral kind of a colour of bunny. So this one is the Milky White. So just adding colour, leaving a highlight in the middle of his body, giving him some depth underneath his arm, his paw, and then leaving some highlights at the top of his ears. There, that's quite good. Happy with that. And then the E53 will just add a little bit of shadow. Julie says yes, she knows she's got the whole weekend to craft all of her Easter goodies. Excellent. That's going to be a lot of fun. And she's loving the shade of green, and she's not watched the Hobby Maker channel much yet. So they are very new, and at the moment they are only on between the hours of 1 and 6, but I do think there are plans for that to grow. And yeah, they're a lovely group of people, and those of you that have watched the UK TV craft TV channels will know the presenter Andy Love. Well, Andy is part of the management team there, so he left Create and Craft when all of everything just went a bit weird and all the changes were happening. He left them at that point and moved over to Hobby Maker and is part of the management team there now. So and is helping them build it up to what's already promising to be a really great channel. All of the good bits of other TV channels and not so many of the not so good things is what I'm hoping anyway. So so I'm really excited about that. That's coming up soon. So yeah, I think that we've been penciled in for the 12th of May. Fingers crossed with all the stock issues we're having that does go ahead. So for his scarf, let's have a think. Do I go with pink? I'm going to go with this with a pink pink shade. So again, I'm going to refer to my chart to see which is the closest pink shade. And I'm thinking maybe an RV32 and an RV34. RV32. So we're getting some different shades out here, which is great. I love it when I get to use different colours in my Copic stash. So these might not be exactly a match for what's in here, but this is giving us the inspiration. So this is the RV32, which is shadow pink. This is a lovely shade of pink. I've not used this before. I like it though. I think this is very pretty. So just add a little bit of shadow. This is the RV34. Sorry, I keep forgetting to show you my caps there, don't I? So that's going to give us a really nice pink, a nice muted pink, spring fresh pink. And I think I'm going to do one of the little paper planes in this pink as well. So trying to keep everything quite cohesive. And just blend that in. Lovely. So that's my pink. For his goggles, now for his goggles I did think about doing maybe like a darker green, you know, almost like a racing green kind of a colour. So I think I'm going to go with this is quite a good colour. What's this? I quite like this. This is G16, and again it's still quite a fresh green, but is a bit darker than the green that we've used previously. I'm just going to let that dry back a little bit because it is a small area. So, and I don't think that's quite dark enough. So I need a bit darker than that. What about maybe this is G28? Let's have a look. My little baskets are getting in the way. It's G28. So yeah, I'm just going to add a little bit of darker green, just a tiny little bit, because like I said, there's not a lot of space there. I need to really blend that, and I don't want to colour his face in green if I can help it. Although what I do want to do is add a little bit of pink to those cheeks. So we'll just add a little bit of pink there. That's cute. That might not be quite pink enough. Let me try some R20. Just pink those up a bit, because he's, you know, he's flying through the air, isn't he? Oh, and he needs a pink nose as well. For the for the goggle bit, excuse me, I think that's probably going to be in a blue, isn't it? So that you can see. So I'll just add a really light BG000 there. Julie says she's seen Andy on the management team, so so exciting times ahead for the channel. You've seen his announcement, Julie. Yeah, I think he's definitely going to be a really good driving force for the channel. So my final colour for this, I think, is going to be this yellow. So this yellow is a really lovely lovely bright yellow, so I'm going to go with, I think, the Y13 and the Y15 with a bit of Y11. And again, it's only a small area. Oh, are you leaving us, Rosie? Oh, she's gone. She's gone. Can you get out, honey? Do you need me to move the, open the door for you? Yeah, you're just going to sit there, aren't you, and wait for me. She just sat there looking at the door, saying, human, open the door for me. There you go. Out you go. Go and pester your father. Off she goes. I was obviously being too noisy for her. Disturbed her. Julie says she'll be sure to tune in for my shows. Oh, that's cute. Thank you. Well, I do hope you all do tune in for our shows, because I get very nervous, and you know, this is a new channel, so I want to do good. So bit of Y15 just so that this pops a little bit more. Sometimes you know, smaller spaces are a bit harder to show the different shades. Might have to go a little bit darker in areas to make that pop, and I feel like that's what's happened with the shadow pink. Perhaps needs a little bit of a darker pink. So what did we use for that? It was the RV34, wasn't it? So there isn't another shade beyond that that seems to fit perfectly. So let's have a look at improvising. Yeah, maybe this one. So this is actually an R56, which is crimson, which actually works rather well. So I think we will just use that just to add that little bit. Sorry, I've done it again, hanging on to it, not showing you. So it's not crimson, it's currant. Where did I get crimson from? Currant. That's nice, I like that. I think that just adds a little bit of depth that we needed. So we'll go back to my RV34 and just blend that out a little bit. So sometimes you might have to go out of the colour combinations that the numbers that you've been used to find a bit of a match. So that's actually going from an RV shade to an R shade, which typically you wouldn't do. Oh, what number that? There it is. That works really well. So, and that's just given us that little bit more depth, I think. So make sure I put them back in the right place. So we can die cut these now. What are you guys hoping for in the new release then? Any requests in the new release? Or dare I ask, maybe I'll end up disappointing someone or all of you even, although I'm sure you won't be disappointed because I'm so excited to share them with you. So yeah, what are you hoping for? Let me know what you might be wanting to see. So let's get these die cut, shall we? So in the die cuts, the large paper plane has this little cut here that cuts a little slit into your paper plane so your little critter can sit inside. So that's perfectly positioned, providing you obviously line up your die correctly, which I'm going to try and do now, so that it's right in the center of that paper plane, so that you can then sit your little critter inside, which is so cool. And then we've got the other little paper plane here, so we'll just get a little bit more washi tape. The smaller items, do tend to move around a little bit more, so we want to make sure that they're not shifting about in the die cutting machine. And then this should be our little bunny with his goggles. I did really enjoy designing this little guy, and it's sometimes it's such a shame that time passes. The new releases come and they pass by so quickly, and then you don't get a chance to play with them as often as you'd like. So it's lovely to revisit some of these, because these are absolute favourites. But then, I look at them all and I say the same thing. So let's get the sentiments done as well. So, Annalisa says, how could we ever be disappointed, Joe, bless you. Emma says, chickens. Chickens. Interesting. Chickens are cute. And Julie says stencils, although possibly you don't need any more, is on your second folder of Tea stencils. And Jessica's hoping for Halloween. You're always hoping for Halloween, Jessica. You're a definite Halloween addict, aren't you? It might be a bit early for Halloween, but I'm sure you would think it's never too early for Halloween. Yeah, maybe a bit closer to the event. Although on the Halloween theme, our Spooky Circles stamp set is also on reorder, along with the Hillside Village. So if you haven't had our Spooky Circles set, which I'm sure you probably have, Jessica, but if anybody else missed out on that is coming back in stock as well. So that's good news. So let's pop these little guys through here and hope that I have fixed them good and secure. What are the thoughts on the white mat today? Is that making it a little bit brighter? Is it easier to see, or is it not as easy to see? It's just the other side of the usual mat that I use, but I just thought it might be a bit brighter as a background than the black, but maybe things stand out against the black better. I don't know, so let me know what you think. Okay, so got stuck there. My little bunny here. And you see he cuts out the bottom of him there. Now if you want his little paws to hang out, you can just snip a little line around there, which we might do. So that's that. Let me make some space here to add all of my bits. This is our little plane. So you can see it's cut a little strip just there. So then we can sit our little bunny inside. Isn't that cute? Like it. We could actually put him on an action wobbler, because I haven't done that for ages. So I love that. So the white background isn't too bright. Excellent. Julie says, is Spooky Circles the most recent Halloween release ones? If so, needs them. Yes, it is the most recent one. It's the one that it goes with the simple circle dies that we've got. So there are no dies with the set, because they're all the images are sit within circles. So you've got a little I mean, they're not spooky at all. You've got a cute little spider. You've got a cat. Oh, and what's the other image. Spider, a little cat. A cat is the largest of the circles, and she is wearing a witch's hat. And then something else, I can't remember. So we've got flying by to say hi. Yes, I can't remember. What's the other image? Can anybody remember? Is it a I can't honestly remember. Well, that's bad, isn't it? I shall have to find it to show you. I did actually have it all stamped out, and it looks amazing when it's stamped out and coloured. So, and where did I put it is the question mark. So I've been having a tidy up and a clear out as well. In fact, let me just have a quick look for it. It's not in that one. Oh, I am annoyed with myself that I can't remember where I put it. I've literally had it in the last couple of days in my hands. Literally had it. Is it in here? Oh yes, I bet it's in here. So I've been organising some. Is it in here? Bobs. No, these are all ones to be cut. Oh yes, here they are, look. So you've got the cat. We've got a ghost, of course, we've got a ghost. And we've got the spider. So yeah, and then you've got some cute sentiments. So it's a little ghosty. Of course it's a ghost. So yeah, so those are the little, and they cut out with your circle dies. Which are really cute. So they're a fun little set. Not at all spooky. I do love cute Halloween. So right, let's get this together then. So we've got my little. So you see here for the little paw, I am just going to fussy cut around that a little bit. Just so I can have it hanging out of the paper plane, because I do think that that looks kind of cute. And just having his paw hanging out there. I don't think I made a very good job of that, did I? Might have to just snip that again. But yeah, that's cute. So we'll just snip that round a little bit further. And then I've somehow made that a little bit. That's better. Snip that off where I've just made it. A little bit of a boo-boo there. There we go. Yeah, that'll work. So then what I can do here is I can add a tiny bit of glue along the bottom of there, and then grab my paper plane and slot those bits behind, so his little paws hanging over the front there, and that'll just fix him in place. Isn't he cute? And then we've got the flying by to say hi, and then we've got, so we need the hi bit, don't we? So we've got this going on here. I think that's probably going to go like that. Maybe something along those lines. And then I need hi along the bottom of here. So, let's have a look. I think, have I got a die that says hi, or just a die that says hello? Let me have a look in my die moustache. I think all of the dies say hello rather than hi. Yeah, they do. So, and it's flying by to say hi is what works really. Although we've got this wavy hello, which is very cool. Which could look quite cute going across there. Something for the Queen's Jubilee, says Kirsty. That's a good idea. What sort of things would you like to see for the Queen's Jubilee? I'm thinking like corgis springs to mind, doesn't it? Maybe a little like, what's the rhyme is that somebody went to see the Queen. I can't remember the rhyme. Somebody tell me the rhyme. Was it a cat that went to see the Queen? Because I could definitely do a cat queen, because most little girl cats think that they are the Queen. Sorry if you can't hear me. I'm trying to find my alpha dies. Again, we've had these very recently, so why I can't find them. Got my numbers. Where are my alpha dies? We've used these very recently, haven't we? Have I put them somewhere else? Must have. That's most annoying, isn't it? What have I done with my alpha dies? They must be there. They must be. So she's going to have another look. Because they must be in here. I can't think of anywhere else I would have put them. But, you know, who knows what I do. I feel like I may have taken them away with me and then have I not brought them home somehow? Not my alpha dies. I'm traumatized. What are they? They're my alpha dies. They're there. How did they end up there? What is going on? What is going on? There are ghosts in this room. People messing with my mind. Oh! There's a high in the paper plane set. There is a high. But it's tiny. And I want it big. So I wanted to do high along here, like this, you see, and we've even got a little exclamation mark. Let me grab my snipperoos. Snip this one out. There we go. And then we've got high. So yes, that was my plan, Julie. You see, that's what I was going to do. So I'm sorry about the fuss trying to find that. That was most annoying. So the colour. Let's have a think. The colour scheme. Oh, this is looking so cute. So I think that we should have the same colour scheme for our high as we've kind of got going on for the rest of the card. So we could go for the blue, actually. The blue might stand out, or we could go for this yellow as well, just for a little pop of colour. I feel like this pink is not really working for me. And I might go back to doing the yellow and maybe this being pink. So I have the two yellow planes that have a pink sentiment. Pussycat, pussycat, where have you been? I've been to London to visit the Queen. That's the one, Claire. That's the one I was thinking of. And I think maybe that could be the basis of a little stamp set, couldn't it? So what are we thinking? I think I need to do this little one again, but in yellow. And then do my sentiment in the pink, I think. In the pink, I think. Yes, and the pink, what I'm going to do for that, I'm going to grab a piece of this cardstock here, and I'm going to take the pink, but I feel like I want it to be a little bit, I guess I wanted it to be a bit brighter, but I don't know if we're going to achieve that. So let's do that. Let's use the chisel tip. We're going to make our own colour of cardstock here that matches what we're doing. So, is that enough? Yeah, that's grand. And then the RV34, I'm just going to do along the bottom. I like that. That colour works well. We blend that together, we create a little bit of an ombre effect, which I think is going to look quite cool. Just go over that a couple of times. Get that looking good. And then that will dry back to a nicer colour. And then while I'm at it, I'm going to stamp out one of those little, paper plane again, and do that in the same yellow, because I feel like it's not working against that pink of his scarf. It's too many pinks in the same area. So if I do this in yellow, that little pop of yellow just works, I think. So the yellow that we used was this Y11, wasn't it? And the Y13. And the Y15. So Kirsty says the Queen Corgi's old-fashioned phone box, Union Jack bunting, and Buckingham Palace Guard of Honour, maybe. Wow, that you have given me some great ideas there. I can already see them forming in my brain. I love it. What a fabulous idea. Can somebody tell me then, when is the actual Jubilee celebration, and yeah, when is it? When is it happening? I am so just have no idea what's going on. Do I? But yeah, is it what date are we celebrating? Are we getting a bank holiday? Do we get a bank holiday for it, because there are quite a few bank holidays coming up, aren't there? Is one of them moved to June? Is this a memory that I have that is a true memory and not just a made up one? Right, so I'm going to go with doing my sentiment there, I think. It's gone a bit paler in the middle. Rose's fluff gets everywhere. So Laura says yes, cute little ghosts in circles. They are very cute. So yeah, so that's our only Halloween stamp set that we've got in stock now. So yeah. Well, we don't actually have it in stock yet, but that is coming back in stock, and then it will be our only Halloween set. Julie says it's the 7th of June, it's the end of May bank holiday, and then the Thursday before is Jubilee, I believe. Oh, right, okay. I see. So I'm going to have to be quite quick then to get a Jubilee stamp set. Kirsty says it's on the weekend of the 2nd to the 5th of June. So it's going to be party time. Are people planning on doing anything? I know sometimes people do like street parties and things, don't they, for these kinds of things. Oh, these look cute. I do love these letters when they're cut out, because they do just look really, they're the perfect size. And I love that they're so bold, so they do work really, really well for all of these sentiments. So I don't want to lose the bottom part of that. So yeah, I think the yellow works much better. I'm glad I've changed that. So let's have a look at what this is looking like then. So we've got flying by to say hi. There we go. Yeah, that works. I like that. Yay. So Julie says that her and the boys are away with friends, but you've got flags to put in the caravan while you're away. Oh, that's going to be so much fun. That will be so much fun. Right, so shall we start putting this little chap together? I think we're almost there now. So let's pop these to one side, and we'll start with our background. So I'm actually going to use my Big Daddy Cosmic Shimmer for this bit, because we've got a bit more surface to cover here. So I'm just going to make sure I'm getting into all of these scallops around the edges. So yeah, that's a really cool idea. That I like that that idea, Kirsty. You've got me thinking. You've definitely got me thinking. So I'm going to ponder on that one. I'll make sure that that's all lined up nicely, and then our first bit of cloudage I'm going to pop up on some foam, so because I want these to be, I want them to really stand out. I want there to be loads of dimension to this bit. So let's grab a nice big wide bit of foam here and pop that along the bottom, and then I'll just cut a few smaller pieces down just to support these top bits. A bit there, a bit there. a bit too tall? That's perfect. This guy's got his up in the high in the clouds. So what else are you hoping to see then? So you've probably gathered that we don't have anything for the Jubilee, but you've definitely got me thinking about something that we can do for the Jubilee. Definitely. So what else are you perhaps hoping to see? Now then, this might be a little bit wide, but we can always snip it down. Case. So again, this is going to give a really good bit of dimension. I think this might be a little bit wide. So the great thing about my XOXO scissors is that they are Teflon coated, which means that they don't stick. They do stick a little bit, but they're really easy to keep clean. So you're not going to get them all bunged up with your adhesive. And I've cut that a little bit too long as well. So just pop that onto the back of there. And then these little pieces I can use. Just add a bit of extra support to the top of these fluffy clouds. Actually, I might just add a little bit to there and to there, because these bits are on the front, so we want to make sure that they're supported. And I'm just sticking these back onto the edge to keep them safe. Fingers stuck. So I think we're for Easter plans that we've got. We're doing something for Easter, which is very rare for us because we're usually one or the other of us will be working. So look at the dimension there. I love that. So we've got 2 layers there of lovely clouds. So that's really cool. And then my little I think this little guy can sit in the middle cloud there. So I just really need to add some adhesive to the back of his head there, which this might just work perfectly, this piece here. Just got a little corner there just to trim off. Oops. There we go. So let's try that. Yeah, that's going to work quite nicely. Have him just floating through the clouds. And then we've got flying by, just say, yeah, that's lovely. So I think the one there and the little one will go there. I think that works quite well. What do you think? Yes, I like that. So I'm going to add him in the middle, and we're just going to add some glue along the bottom here, and that'll keep everything in place. And then do I want to pop these up or not? I think I do want to pop up the flying by bit. So I'm going to use a small bit of our shaker tape to do this, because this is a little bit thinner. It might still be a little bit too wide, but again we can snip it down. So let's grab a piece of that and then carefully just snip off one edge of that, and then we can pop that in the centre. Excuse me. Getting a dry throat again. I need to grab my drink. So I think that's just going to help that sentiment stand out a little bit more. Excuse me. Annalisa says she has no guesses, but she's sure she will love whatever is in the new release. Well, I can give you, shall I give you a little bit of a hint? I'll give you a little hint of what's in it. I've got this tiny piece here. Was that too tiny? That's too wee. In fact, it's so small, I'm going to throw that one away. So, well, I designed this release, I guess, during the time when Clyde was not very well. So, and he was with me while I was designing this release. So he has influenced some of it. So I'll leave that with you. Leave that out there. So that's the bye to say, just underneath that cloud. And then I think because we've popped that up and we've got the popped up clouds, these can lay flat in the background. So, and we'll have that one kind of just flying in from one side. Julie says a get well theme, and Lisa says a kitty theme. I could not possibly say any more. Annalisa's naughty because she's going to get to find out tomorrow evening, so she's going to know. So let me try and line this up, because this is my middle scallop, so that's where the eye should be, isn't it? So let's add the H just there. Obviously I'm not going to put the letters right in the middle of the scallops, because then they will look too far apart and they won't spell out the word. They'll just look like three separate letters really. So, but as long as the middle letter is central, then I feel the rest should work. So the high, I think I'm just going to add a blob on there. I'm going to grab my tweezers to try and place that there. So I think actually that isn't very central, but hey ho. I feel like I need to move the eye over, but I don't think I'm going to be able to move it now. It's fully stuck down and I don't want to rip my cardstock. So no, I'm going to leave it. It's a little bit on the wonk, but that's absolutely fine. Annalisa says, yes, I'm naughty. I need to know now. I can't help it. I'm a Time for Tea super fan. Yes, you are. You really are. Bless you. So we've got a lot of wonderful super fans. We definitely have. And I'm very, very lucky to have you all supporting me. So finishing touches then for this. I think this looks really so cute. I do love it. Julie says she's making a shaker card using Build a Bunny die set. However, I feel my brain may be a bit tired, so I may have to complete it tomorrow. Yes, that's sometimes your brain just needs a little bit of a rest from things, doesn't it? So it's getting late now for us all. So I totally understand. So I'm going to add a few little highlights to my characters. little whisker marks, and some highlights to his ears. So cute. To his scarf as well. That's cool. Oh, we need some along the scarf there. On this paper plane too. And then on the sentiment itself, I am going to add some highlights. I just think it just adds to that kind of whimsical comic book effect when you do that. I apologise that they're not fully central. Julie says that we need some time for team merchandise for super fans. I have been looking at ways that we can possibly do that. It is, like I think I've mentioned before, it can be quite costly. So it is a bit intricate, the bunny one, but it is so cool when you put it together. There's been some great examples of it being used by the design team as well. So do check those out if anybody's not quite sure where to start with that one. So my glossy accents has decided to get itself clogged just when I want to use it, and my trusty little pin that I use to declog has got very, very bent. So I'm not sure we're going to be able to declog this now. Oh, I got some more glossy accents. I've got some lacquer actually, that might work. I do hate it when my glossy accents gets clogged up. Doesn't happen very often, but when it does, it really does. Oh, how annoying. I'm not going to make you watch me declog that because that's super annoying. Let me see if so I've got some Cosmic Shimmer Clear Varnish lacquer. So let's have a look, see if we can get this working. It's a bit of a wider nozzle, so I don't want to go too mad with it, but I just want to add a little bit of that to his goggles there, which I think is going to look very cute when it's dried. And it's just a little detail, but sometimes these little details are what really finish something off. And then I've got some stickles here, and I do enjoy just putting a bit of stickles on the edge of my clouds. I just think again that just finishes them off. A little bit of glitter never hurt anyone, did it? So let's just get that on there. And when that dries back, that's going to be a really nice finish to these clouds. And you'll still be able to see that detail of the stitching, but then you'll also have that lovely glittery finish as well. Cute. Love it. Love it. What do we think? What do we think? Great idea with the stickles. I never think of that, says Julie. I know, I do love the stickles for adding a bit of extra bling. So that is our finished card. We've got all that lovely bling on the edge of our clouds, which is so cool, and lots of lovely dimension as well there, and our little bunny flying by to say hi. Oh, thank you, Sarah. Sarah says it's a great card. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've enjoyed me watching me make that. I've really enjoyed creating it. Like I say, I had a vague idea of a plan of you know, something that I wanted to do. I know I definitely wanted to use this little character, this little bunny in his paper plane. So, and I think it's turned out really cute. And Elisa says, I think it's a terrific card. Love the scallops. Julie says it's stunning. She loves it. Oh, thank you, guys. I do think that this scallop die is a really useful one. Like I say, it's made a great card base, but it will also sit really nicely onto your A6 card base. So it's a really useful one, and it has the smaller die as well on the inside for you to maybe layer up, and this sentiment celebrate as well, which is really useful to have. So a great little die to have in your stash, I think, that one. So thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for joining me for that. I've had another lovely evening just chilling out and crafting with you guys. So thank you for that. I will be back next Tuesday with another card project. I'm hoping as well maybe over the Easter weekend, if we get a chance, to film my memory keeping project for March, and I will get that up on the channel once that's been edited. So look out for that as well if any of you are interested in the memory keeping side of things. And like I say, have a fabulous Easter. I hope the Easter Bunny brings you lots of chocolatey treats. And at the very least, you all have a lovely crafty rest. And I'll see you when we're all in a chocolate coma next week, when we're all back to work and the break is officially over. We will be, obviously, we won't be in the office over the weekend, so orders will start shipping again from Tuesday, because the postman's not working. So there you go. Julie says, enjoy your break over Easter. Julie also says that she loved watching and being able to interact without the boys wanting to hear their names said and trying to get them to go to sleep. That's very cute. Emma says, fab card, thank you. And Annalise says, enjoy your Easter with Anne. Claire says, thanks, Joe, love the card. Thank you both. Thank you, Claire. Thank you, Julie. Thank you, Emma. Thank you, everybody who's watching. Thank you, Annalisa. I shall see you tomorrow. Yeah, have a fabulous Easter break, everyone. Happy Easter. Bye for now. Bye.